across the morning sky. Feel what's on the wind. Find the perfect water and hope the day won't end. Tune into the outside from the inside once again. Listen to the thunder and watch an eagle soar. We call it living inside the great outdoors.
Morning, this is Joe Castaway Coolest. Yes, I'm still around, and it's raining out there hard, and driving's a little tough because you can't. What was rough coming in is the lines, when they did the work on the bridges, are basically still in the road, and you don't know if you're in the right lane, and there's cars and people driving like 80 and stuff.
And do you know if you were in the right lane, Norm?
Yeah, I was in the right lane.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Okay.
I was in the right lane. You want to watch the puddles in these. Some places.
Yes.
You can glide sideways in these puddles. And the other thing is, there's little blasts.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
I'm Dr. Norm, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
everybody
checking.
knows me.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
And thanks for listening to us this morning too.
But watch. That's a good idea with those puddles.
Watch the puddles
because you don't see them until you're in it.
No,
That's too late.
No. And there's little blasts of wind out there. I don't know if you guys noticed coming in.
I did.
You hit these little squall lines or something, and it just pushes your car sideways. I don't know if you hit that, Carl, at all.
No, not really. A little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I hit it on 480, on west
Joe?
over here on 480.
Oh, this is Big Daddy Carl Bachtel, by the way. And
what was the
Joe?
comment?
Joe had little blasts of wind, but they were inside the van.
Oh, jeez.
Made him swerve.
Oh, my God.
Good morning, everybody.
Tried to be nice.
Hello.
And gave you some ideas on stuff.
Oh, I've got ideas.
Still slow.
We've got all kinds of ideas pointed at you, Joe.
Yeah,
That's right.
What did I do to deserve this? Man.
I only see you once a week, so I got to keep it all bottled up and unleash the hounds on Sunday morning.
The biggest thing I'm noticing with age is forgetting names of people that I should know and words that I want to use.
Yeah, he forgot your name at the beginning, Norm.
Yes, he
Didn't you hear
did.
that?
That's because he was...
No, he asked, what's your name?
Well,
Uh-huh.
No, and it's so aggravating. People's names that I should know, like the gentleman that ran this show before, I completely blank, and another good friend of mine, and it's like, man, that's the bad part. Yet I could remember, that's what I'm talking about today's show, skinning a whole elephant by myself, and just had the natives pulling the skin. Dang, how in the world? But I was in my, I don't know, 20s, I guess. I don't even remember. And yet the local things, your mind just, and then middle of the night, oh, that's the word I wanted. Oh, that's the guy's name. What's with that, Doc? Why?
You're old.
But what causes that?
Old age.
Degeneration of the cerebral cortex.
So it's shrinking, your brain.
Yours already shrunk.
Yeah.
Okay, so Barron.
He didn't have as much to work with anyway.
Oh, God.
Oh, the Barron Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just quickly, he's getting in fact, he's got a shot coming up here for his arthritis. But I notice it doesn't hurt him, but he kind of stumbles because the lady said that, the vet, that he's, what did she use for the term, low in the back or weak in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when he goes down the stairs, he kind of drags, so it's pretty noisy when boom, boom, boom. But he walks around the room, goes back up the stairs. Going up is fine, but coming down. Is there anything that could be done to?
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's no
watch. Watch one thing with him, Joe. Watch so he doesn't lose proprioception.
What
What proprioception is, when you get home, just see if he turns his
No.
he turns his paws back really quick.
Oh,
Take his paw and just knuckle it over his back paw and
Yeah.
see if he flips it out really quick.
oh, what's that?
That's proprioception. That's fine tuning of his peripheral nerves. Okay.
So what do I learn when I see?
Well, if he's not turning it over really quick, that's a disease that German shepherds get.
Oh.
And it's a degeneration of the spinal nerves.
Yeah.
You know?
And nothing they can do.
Nothing they can do for that. But
Okay.
just try that and tell her. I don't know if there's anything more they can do for that now, but
Yeah.
there was nothing that I was
Yeah.
aware of they could do for that.
Yeah.
But it's,
Could that be why?
It's called degenerative myelopathy.
So is that maybe why
It could be why he's losing his back end.
But then I see some other times.
Yeah, sometimes they do really well, but sometimes they just. But try that, with the back leg.
Yeah.
Put that paw over like that, and see if he flips it out.
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
He should flip it
Okay.
out really quick, or at least flip it out.
Okay.
If he doesn't flip it out and wonk it, he's starting to show early signs of
Okay.
degenerative
So if like when
myelopathy.
he's going down and it's like he's dragging it, could it also? Because it's not always.
No,
There are other.
It could be early signs of that disease. And,
Okay.
some go really rapidly, some
Oh.
slowly degenerate. But hey,
Wow.
we all get old.
Yeah.
None of us are here forever.
He sleeps a lot, but
So do I.
well,
Not
yeah.
really. I wish I could sleep a lot.
Yeah. I
I
have-
sleep at odd times,
Oh really?
And I sleep in a chair, in the garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I got to go fishing yesterday, so it was. But I was worried of getting home in time because of church, and then getting the eggs for the chickens, and it's been hectic. How about you, Carl? How was your week?
Good.
Good. Got to fish.
Got to fish.
Yeah. Basically
Everything's
good.
cool. Yeah.
Basically good.
Nice and relaxing.
Good.
Good is good.
Yeah.
I'll take it when I can.
I went to
and-
that Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. He had a ton of guys there. I got there at 8:00, and the parking lot was jammed. It was full. And
how-
when I got there, he had already had 200 guys sign up, and then he got about
Yeah, I heard
20,
there was
20 or 25
25.
more.
He had 225 and raised.
Yeah,
16.
he was. Mike Durkalek was tickled.
Yeah, he raised $16,000 for the kids.
Yeah. Cool.
So how about the fishing? What was the?
I don't
fishing?
know. I didn't
Oh.
stay that long. I
Saw
had
the
other commitments.
Winning fish was a 29-inch or 29.5-inch
on a Barbie rod.
male. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Where did they do most of the fishing?
In the river.
Yeah, in
Right
the river.
there?
They were fishing all along the river. I was surprised at some of the area. When I left, they had that road cut off there, and some of the good spots the guys would have had a hike to.
Oh.
I was going to come back and set up a tent there
Yeah.
with the Gold Bond powder, for all the guys with their waders at the end of the day, It was going to be a buck a shake, with some Gold Bond powder. But they had these little kids in waders. I mean, little kids. It was really fun.
Really?
They were cute.
Did
I hope
any
he took
kids
a lot.
catch fish?
I don't know. I
okay.
stayed there till about 9:00, but I
Oh.
saw a couple guys I know. I saw Mark Batone. I haven't seen him for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Charter guy that
Yeah.
I've known since he was a little kid.
Yes, I talk to him much. I see him a lot on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And if I put something on one of the walleye sites, he'll comment or he'll let
I
it
left
go.
some of your pamphlets there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Thank
hope
you.
they
Thank you.
picked them up.
Yeah. Oh man.
So it was a nice turnout. They had a bunch of great gifts there for their auctions and raffles and things.
Oh, they had auctions too. Oh,
Yeah.
that's where they generated
Yeah.
the money. Okay.
So nice turnout. I wish I could have stayed for the food and stuff.
Did it rain much?
No,
there?
no, not
See,
there.
where I was at, I went fishing. It was to towards Middlefield, past there.
Yeah.
It rained. It would rain and then get light and rain, but basically it was pretty rainy.
No, I didn't notice
And
any,
then when we
any
drove
rain
home-
on our west side.
Wow,
there.
and
So
then
I
when
don't
I-
think it rained there at all.
No, or
you know.
south. When I drove home, it was fine.
But from what I could see, they were fishing all along the river. Not like I say, some of the parkway was cut off because of work on the bridge there. But I imagine those guys, walked down to some
Yeah.
of the good fishing
how
spots.
would they be fishing, Carl? What would they be using?
Who?
The fishermen that caught those fish. What?
Oh, they use all
Barbie
kinds
rods?
of things. At this.
But I mean, lure. I'm trying to be nice, lure wise and stuff.
Use
Spawn sacks and
spawn sacks.
Spawn
They
sacks,
could use
And you
jig
could-
and maggot,
jig and
minnows,
maggot. Some of them
Oh.
worms.
so
Anything.
they'll use flies, spawn sacks. Little flies that
with
that,
a
that look
Barbie
like-
rod,
Huh?
Yeah.
With the Barbie rod.
they
yeah.
can cast enough far. Enough.
Oh yeah, you can cast those.
Oh, they're
things
probably
okay.
walking out in the streams.
Yeah.
And, okay.
This
okay.
this
Cast
time
with
of the
those.
year, those
You
suckers.
should
go up
use
the-
one at your pond, and you could practice.
Yeah,
I don't need
Make
it.
you
it'd,
feel young
it'd
again.
fit you very well.
Yeah, make you feel young again.
Oh boy.
I sent my my Snoopy rod back to Orvis to have some work done on it.
Didn't make it back in time for the tournament.
Yeah. Next year.
Oh jeez. Oh boy.
He.
Yeah, but it's kind of a wet drizzly. What I was surprised at this morning is how dark it is out there, where it shouldn't be.
The
It's
sun's
so,
not up yet.
But no, but even so,
Well, it's
it-
cloudy.
it's so cloudy.
Get up
it's
at
dark.
5 in the morning. It's dark, Joe.
I know it looks. I'm looking at radar, and it looks like it just about is ending. So it'll be. I know more's coming, but it's going to be okay for a while. Then there's
I guess this
more.
afternoon we're
Yeah.
supposed to get some big thunder boomers
Yeah.
or something. So
Maybe.
they say.
yeah, but it was raining pretty good coming in. It was let's get to let's see.
Just remember,
Yeah,
the fish are already wet.
are they? Oh, okay. You just have to dress properly. Good morning. Sipping the coffee. Hello, hello, hello.
I wanted to take this moment to thank you for the opportunity for me to once again put the E in disgusting and help you celebrate the last show of March.
Oh, yeah.
And I also wanted you guys to get the ball rolling to get the backlog out of the way on April Fool's shenanigans, gags,
Oh,
and
that's
antics I'm going to experience because I'm gullible.
Is it tomorrow or Tuesday? What?
I think Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I can't even. What is
Yeah,
today?
today's the 30th.
Today's Monday, right?
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
Friday.
You boys ain't right.
I don't
Every
have
day's
my pill
Saturday.
Can't remember
because
names.
I can't tell.
Dates, directions,
Yeah.
time,
His
And,
wallet.
wallet.
Yes. I figured.
the
I
bait.
think Doc Norm just did a big one. I think that's why we use those pill containers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the
with
day
the-
on it.
I'll
so
bet-
you,
yeah.
you
I'll
at
bet
least
Joe
get
didn't
it-
have his
you
fishing
get it.
license when he went fishing either.
I was at a private
he's
pond.
hip.
Oh, you
He's
remember
hip.
that,
He's
didn't you?
got it on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it on his phone. He's prepared. He's joined the digital wacko age.
Yep.
He's ready.
Yeah, but he
Mm.
can't
But,
remember his password to get to it.
Yeah. Don't even start with that. Jeez, on Pete.
I spent so.
I got the Pope. I got the Pope primed and ready for you. He's,
Oh.
I had talked to him on his way to toiling. He'll be working today,
Oh,
but he's got Pope things to discuss with you. But I got him primed. I primed the pump, and I am uncharacteristically, strangely calm and in a state of grace, even
Good.
as I wade through my first coffee.
yeah.
And just glad to have what we got going on. We're coming into it now. Water's going to start warming up. Stuff's going to
It's hard
start
to
happening.
do, but what I'm realizing more and more, we don't realize how good we have it until we start losing things like some memory.
Right.
And I think I got
Right.
bit by a spider or something. My eyes a little swollen. I wondered yesterday when I was out fishing why things looked a little fuzzy.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes are out.
No, this was, I think, because this few days, I was worried it was something more serious. There was like 4 or 5 dots in a row, and they looked kind of weird. I didn't like
Bed
it.
bugs.
And
Botox.
Bed bugs.
God. And I was really concerned, and then it's swollen, so I'm pretty sure it's gotten better. I'm pretty sure it was spider, but
Your head swelled?
Yes.
oh God.
Yeah, he couldn't get it through the door of the chicken coop to harvest eggs. Hey,
Anything else
speaking of
quickly
that,
here? Because I got onto you a little late here.
He's got to offload you, Bob.
Well, I know he always does the shove and run.
Do you want to
That's
hold
his
on?
MO. I would be privileged
Okay,
to hold on. I
okay.
can't believe you extended that gracious
yeah,
offer.
because I got to you late. I didn't want to cut you that
What are you
short,
holding
so-
on to?
Yeah.
I
okay.
wouldn't have even taken this call.
Okay, well,
You're
hang in there.
doing
We'll
me
take a break
solid.
and we'll talk to you on the
You
other side.
know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, hey, girl, we couldn't get much higher.
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.
Welcome back. Good. Let's see. I hope he's. Are you still there?
Oh, he's there.
I was
Okay,
born
good.
here.
I can feel his presence.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to push a button and screw it up again like I do that. But
And
Yes,
question:
I-
the
I'm
Pope,
like-
the Pope has already chimed in on the book face.
yeah, see, I have no book face.
Oh,
He
good.
says,
Good.
"Good morning. Joe got bit by a spider. Does he have superpowers?"
Oh, no.
And I said, "No,
Oh,
but he's
no.
driving me up a wall."
What are you talking? Me driving you? You two guys are on my back is hurting already. It's
Well,
so
you've got superpowers. You can carry us.
yeah, but
He'll be-
why?
he'll
What
be,
did I do to deserve all of this?
He'll be hanging out in the WHK Tower in Independence shortly, just to test out new skills. And he's fighting, he was going to open a new business because he's an enterprising man called Geriatric Park. It's kind of a place to go to kind of just figure out who the hell you are. And,
Stare at the wall.
stare at the wall and leave the left turn
Well,
signal on. Thank you,
Dolly's looking
Jesus.
for a new man now. He's
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
this is
You know what
right.
Dolly's
I don't know.
deceased
died.
husband's name was? Carl.
Carl something.
That's right.
He was always in the background, quiet fellow,
That's
me.
me.
And they had a storied relationship that only they knew of, It's just they were together a long time, and
Well, they broke up.
he let
No, he died.
no, he passed.
Oh,
Yeah,
How
yeah,
old?
he
He was
81.
81
he was
or something.
yeah,
No,
he was up
pretty
there.
old.
Yes,
Oh God!
I'm
Oh gee!
at
This is bam,
64
bam, bam. Sorry, go
At
ahead.
64 and a half, I'm old enough to remember Dolly Parton pulling out towels out of boxes of Breeze laundry detergent on the show with Porter Wagner back in the day.
Yeah.
One more sequin, and the two of them would have fell over on their outfits.
Yeah.
But she was together with this Carl fella for a long time.
Oh,
now,
that's sad.
just on the heels of that, Yash brought up how good we got it, and we don't realize it till it blows up in our face and we lose it. We could be in Bangkok, Thailand right now, Pancake City.
Now, I didn't get to see too much news yesterday, but at the beginning...
Not good.
Oh,
not
really?
good.
Not
yeah.
good.
And it was so reminiscent of 9/11 when the towers fell, and so reminiscent, I think it was the 80s or 90s, L.A., when the freeways pancaked in stages and just smashed the daylights out of people.
Because I saw it was 7.7. So what happened more?
You should have seen these buildings just crush, you know?
Yeah.
Really?
They've had aftershocks. Building under construction was a big banger. But just everything got shook and shot.
Really?
And here we are, okay? And again, I've never needed other people's direct suffering to make me feel better and appreciate my life. If anything, I felt in deficit that I couldn't fix their suffering. I wanted to help them. I wanted to at least have them feel.
That's about all you could do is pray.
Well, you know, me and the old man upstairs got it in good. He lets me live. I know he's nuts and a comedian because he lets my pitiful, sorrowful self hang out.
But as you see this, you know, it's like, man.
Yeah, here's the deal.
Glad I didn't go
locally,
to that Buddhist conference over there. You know,
that would have been a tough one for you, Doc.
Yeah.
That would have been you would have upset the.
There was an article the other day, the happiest places on earth. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
They listed all these countries. Of course, the Scandinavian countries all came in first.
Yeah.
It was Finland and Denmark and Iceland and Sweden and the Netherlands, but 6th, Costa Rica. 7th, Norway. 8th, Israel. 9, Luxembourg. 10th was Mexico. Now, where did the United States come in?
35th.
24th.
I would say about 63rd.
24th, you know. Of course, who put this out? The Gallup poll and the UN Sustainable Developmental Solutions Network, you know. I'm thinking everybody wants to go to the United States, and you know who puts this thing out but the United Nations. I thought, geez,
well,
you know, everybody in Myanmar wants to come over here now, you know.
Boy.
Yeah, and segue in this with what Doc Norm just brought up. I'm going to bring up the taboo Canadian subject just real quick. Number one, use your head. Make up your own mind and decisions. You've got things going out of your control. You have guys that have places up there. You have guys that have gone there traditionally every year. You've got guys that have relationships with the people they've interfaced with up there. Use your head. And if you don't have good feelings about stuff and you figure it's going to be nothing but a bad roll going and whatever, then spend your money here for while this is going on. Chill. But enough of this malarkey, okay?
Yeah.
God gave you a brain. He gave you the power to think and discern. Use your head. Joe, you were going to communist Russia and I think communist China. For hunting.
Yeah, actually, Mongolia was. You're right.
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah. I never thought about that being China, but you're right.
I thought about it a lot because your eyeballs were being laser scanned and guys watching you. And
well, I know they were
a bloody wonder.
Because when you went to Russia, you landed and you got off the plane first. Well, you're already there, so everybody gets off.
Right.
But then when you would go, like we'd fly to Leningrad, and we were in the country. When you land, when you're going to take off, you're on the plane first. When you land, you get off before anybody. And you go inside, and you go right to the desk, and they get you a car. It was nice, but they get you a car, and they tell you what hotel you're going to, and they take you there. Then you get to the hotel and you go to because back then the whole country was run by the government by intro. I can't think I remember the name of what it was, but there's only one travel agent, and they run everything. So you go there, you go to the desk, and they say, okay, you're in 502. You go to 502, but there's no key. You go to the little old lady that's got her desk at 5 on the 5th floor. She gives you the key. You go to your room. You want to leave, you call and say, I'd like to go look at a museum. Okay, we'll get you a car. So you go back. You have to give her the key. You don't walk out with a key. And then there's a ride, and you go. But then we kind of went off on our own, and we just would get on a bus, and we didn't have any money. You could pay or not pay. They didn't care. But, yeah, it was – and you had so when you traveled anywhere, you had somebody with you, one of their people. We had a real nice lady.
Oh, yeah.
And we asked her, well, what's it like at the end? She said, they want to know what you asked about. Where did you go?
Right.
What did you talk about? And she had to give a report every day. It was nice in that you were taken care of, but they also figured you were a little bit like, if you were a hunter, they treated you even better.
You were elite.
Yes. And so they took care of you, but they watched. They wanted to know. And then the one time we went when we were in Siberia, and we had the girl and the one guy got out of the car, and everything is boarded up. So where they have these bad areas or homeless, they're all surrounded by wood, like our junkyards. You know how they would cover them up. And the one guy got out of the vehicle, and he's going, and she's having a fit that he's just walking in to look to see whatever. So, yeah, that's what that was like. Mongolia wasn't as much because there's nowhere to go. You were there, and that was it.
Here's a little ditty. This was written by one of your friends. He has since passed, Joe, now. He says, how little do my countrymen know what precious blessings they are in possession of, and which no other people on earth enjoy.
That is so true.
You know who this was
Norm,
written by?
Norm, that was Thomas Jefferson.
That is true. Thomas
How did you know
Jefferson.
That? How did you know that?
And, well, Yash, you knew him. He's gone now.
Yeah,
but how did you know who it was?
Yeah, I might have said this before, but it was Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, and he knew that.
Hey,
yes.
Wow.
Hey, you gotta get up pretty late in the
I'm
afternoon.
impressed.
I may portray myself as a complete buffoon on the airwaves, but you got to get up pretty late in the afternoon to pull one over.
Well,
on
tell you
a
what,
man.
as you get older, you realize that is so true. I'm seeing it so much, because when you lose some little things here and there, it's like, boy, we really have it good and had it good, and you lose a little thing like some memory or some other stuff, and it's like, wow, or some of the health things, and yeah, it's
right.
But it's hard for younger people to realize. They just figure everything is good and it'll always be good, but no, every day is a little bit less. So, but we're still blessed. Go ahead.
Not to put him on the spot, but you get some private time with your, as I call him, resident fishing jarhead, Mr. Carl.
Yeah.
And he'll let you understand, just here in the States, starting out life in the Corps, what having it good meant.
Yeah.
And that's if he talks. You never ask. You let a man talk.
Yeah.
You never ask.
Yeah.
And if you were never in his shoes, you never use the statement, I know or I understand.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't.
No.
But education
not really.
is everything. Why do you think Carl appreciates you maniacs? And I'm sorry, I'm not putting you on the spot, Carl, but you understand perfectly what I'm speaking of. Being places, uh-ohs.
Do you, Carl?
And he appreciates going fishing. He appreciates getting himself physically repaired from what was torn up on him. Mm-hmm. He appreciates his family, his kids, his wife, the whole nine. That's where the action is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, your life is different than mine because it's bigger. My life is really, I'm home alone, so it's different than.
You're in a little microcosm.
Yeah.
Joe Land.
Yeah, but you with family.
I
and
think it's Joeville.
Joeville.
Mm-hmm.
I tried
Joeville. Yeah, and you.
He's always
and,
happy
well,
there.
Time for a break.
you're kicking it old school with Barron, so
There you
you're not
go.
alone. And you
Yeah,
got
you're
the chickens.
right.
Hey, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm going to issue a Toodles. Thank you for the resurgence on the other side. Bye-bye.
See ya.
We'll
Bye.
see ya.
Bob. Okay, we'll take a
Bye,
break
bye,
and
Bob.
we'll be back.
Can't wait forever, even though
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at castaway.com. That's castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Inside the Great Outdoors on a rainy, cloudy Sunday morning. And it's going to be a goofy. Boy, we had nice warm yesterday.
It was
I'm
so
sure you
nice.
enjoyed the fishing, Carl, with that nice warm weather.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, I
Wow.
got to go
Good.
first time in a long time, and I learned a lot of stuff about my baits, which was very interesting. Sam Horn took me into some private pond, and his 5-year-old grandson, and he had a ball catching fish, and he made sure he let you know he was catching more than you, and it was really cool. But I really learned something, Carl, which was important for me. The panfish strips that I have, or the felt, the different colors, worked, and that was so important. I was using black and nothing. It was cloudy, day, and then when I put orange or yellow on, it made a difference.
Yep.
Wow.
Do you have any green like
Yeah,
that?
I have. I didn't.
chartreuse?
Not chartreuse. What it is a thick felt. So I have black, orange. The yellow's pretty bright, red, and green. But I had them cut into like 3/8 inch squares. But we noticed, and Sam he's a good fisherman. He was observant. He said, when you twitched it, we'd get a bite. So I'm thinking, and see what you think, Carl. If I cut it on a diagonal so it has a tail to it, so it'll move a little bit,
Yeah.
would that, but still keep it small?
Increase the action, it'll attract the fish.
Oh, okay. Because I used the freeze-dried waxworms, and they did well. And then I used the crappie. I used the perch strips, which are another kind of a cotton that's long, and it was too long for those sizes of fish. But Sam brought up a point. Maybe don't treat it as a bait, but add it to a bait, like add it to a lure.
Use
Add
it as an attractant.
Yeah, put it like on. Say you're using like the cast cray, and put a little strip on at the back, and then or what about this, Carl? What if you put it on the bear hook first, and then put a maggot or a waxworm or a minnow, so you had more scent. So use it as a scent trail versus using it.
A scent holder.
Yes. Oh, in fact, the gentleman that did the thing on, I'm up to
accent.
129,000 people have saw that video that he did on my stuff, and he talked about that, having that in line with how you're fishing. and then the bait behind it. So it'll give it an added attraction, which is a good kind. So I learned a lot. I didn't catch a lot of fish, didn't get a lot of video, but what I learned was way, way more important. And so I was really happy about that. That it does catch fish. So that's so important. But it was interesting. Black on a cloudy day was not. So black should have been on a bright day, right? Am I right?
It depends.
It depends.
I'd use it on a cloudy day, but
yeah, but it didn't do it. But when I put on yellow or orange, and they did too, it worked. So that's
what you got to do.
It was the learning.
You can't say only use black when it's cloudy, and if that's all you use, and you don't catch fish. Say,
try something else.
Yeah,
try something else.
Yeah,
regardless of
the
weather
you get into
or whatever.
you get lazy. You know,
I don't.
No, but most fishermen get lazy and they don't try anything else.
Preach.
And they just
You have to preach adaptability when you're teaching people how to fish.
Yes,
you can't just say, "Oh, I only use this bait."
Yeah,
it's like, okay,
yeah.
Do you want to catch some fish or do you want to just wash your bait?
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The worms were out this morning for you kids who want to get worms.
Oh, there's worms everywhere.
Are there? I'm gonna have to try
you can
some.
Actually put worms. You can get a bucket and put some shredded newspaper.
Shredded or grass. We used to cut grass.
Yeah, newspaper's better.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I would set some water out, or get rainwater's even better. Let the chlorine get out of the water. You know, set it out for a day or two. Let the chlorine get out of the water.
Yeah.
And then soak that newspaper in it. Squeeze the water out. And that, I'll tell you, they'll do as good in newspaper as they will in sphagnum moss or anything else. What do you think, Carl?
I think so.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Or if you have if you have a paper shredder at home, I used to use the paper from the paper shredder.
Yeah.
And they do good in that too.
I got a commercial paper shredder.
Oh.
My mother wanted to keep busy. I had a
I
regular.
used to bring you all my magazines. Remember that?
Yeah. So I had the shredder, and she burned it up. So I bought a commercial, big one. She come to work, and she was in her late 90s, middle 90s, and she would sit at that paper shredder, and with two hands, she's stuffing this thing to keep busy.
Yeah.
And then I had all of this shredded paper. What am I going to do with it all? You know. Then I would actually have to go to the drop-off stations they would have for that and pick up stuff so I could keep her busy because I couldn't keep her busy. She was go through it so fast. So, and it was like $2,400 and trying to sell it now, and I can't get much, but I can't get anybody.
I'd save it.
Why?
You'll be 90 soon.
Good morning, Mike. In 8 years. 9 years.
Dang. Oh, dang! That was
brutal.
I'm sorry. I'm still. Yeah, that was funny. Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
I do think about it. What am I going to have? Which I don't have. Somebody take care of me when I'm in my 90s.
We keep trying to tell you.
We keep
for the past 10 years. We've been trying to hook you up with an Amish
We've been trying
widow.
to get you down to Kidron,
there you
Ohio.
go.
You know.
Pick some.
Yeah, you know they're not lying.
They're trying and trying. You can even jump in my truck. Me and Carl will drive you down there. You know.
That's funny.
How you doing, Mike?
Yeah,
what's up, man?
Good, sir. And that's funny. Yeah, that's why I'm really nice to my nieces and nephews and my grandchildren. I want somebody's got to smuggle me in some beer in the retirement home or something, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking about you were talking about the scent pads the other day.
Yeah.
And the first one, or the white ones you sent me that were a little longer, looked like cigarette butts a little bit. And that had sent. I did well with it. I cut those in half, like you were saying, because I like the idea of the smaller one. Yeah. And when I put it on, I put a minnow with it for one day, and that's the best I did with it.
Really?
So it was kind of like you said. It was kind of like an attractive tool. You know what I mean?
So I gave you some of the white ones.
You gave me some of the white ones, but they were a little bit on the bigger side because I was taking my knife and slicing them in half to make them look more like
were those the ones that were pre-drilled, or was it the cotton? Well, they're both cotton. Well, no. They're the felt.
Yes.
Okay.
They were
okay.
they were felt.
Okay, yeah. Those, I call them perch only because I figured they'd be longer to be as a minnow.
Right.
But I think in reality it's better to maybe cut them shorter and use it, maybe change the thought pattern. But I want to get you some of these colored felts that would kind of do the same thing, and I'll get you. I had those others. I'm glad you told me because I was going to send you more of the same. So I got some other stuff,
good.
and I'll get you this week.
Well,
I've just been so hectic. So.
Well, that's all right. And then I'll be sure to ask the perch how they felt about it.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
And,
if you get something that works.
Sorry, yeah. Somebody had to try.
Hey, Pope of the Church of Perch.
Yeah.
Well, I caught some perch yesterday, buddy.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Man,
I caught
the
like
pictures
15.
you sent me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You had some nice
give me
colored,
some,
beautiful colored ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, some pictures or some
Now's
video
when
or
they're
something
breeding.
that. Pardon?
They're breeding.
Yes, sir.
now.
Oh, is that it? So they're in
Yeah.
Chowder. Oh, okay. I learned something too yesterday talking to Sam. Fish do not. Different species don't all do it at the same time because there would be no places. So it starts with the steelhead,
Like a
then the
motel.
suckers, then the carp, then in progression.
Right.
All the fish have
Right.
a time, their spot. So if they did it all at once,
Did you think they did it all at once?
I never thought
what?
about it. but-
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I
Right.
never really paid attention. I didn't say I didn't think. I never thought about it, but it makes so much sense that they would do it in progression, so that because
giant
it's a lot.
fish
It's in shallow water. Yeah.
Right.
So I learned.
Well,
some-
over in the Sandusky Bay,
yeah.
over the Sandusky Bay, it's tricky because I try to catch the first one after the spawn because they tend to be a little bit on the hungry side.
Yeah.
But there's that real close window there when the sheephead convention or the sheephead spawn or whatever it is come in there.
Oh.
Because then they're rod breakers and everything else, and gear takers. And, yeah, so there's that real fine window in there of what we find the right week when it's after the spawn when they're smacking them, and before the sheephead just move in.
Yeah. Yeah, but I never thought about it. It makes perfect sense, but I never paid attention to it. I know it's always in the spring, but you don't realize it's in progression because they're all basically spawning in the same place, and that would work good. So, yeah. In fact, you were talking about Sandusky Bay. That's where that Sam Horn charters. In fact, I'm going to give his number if you're looking because it is one of the best spots in the country for catfish now.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Something that lots of folks have known for a long time.
This is
Really?
true.
Yeah.
Right.
So his number is 216-513-0522. That's 216-513-0522, and he charters. He wants you to throw back anything over 10 pounds, which is fine because for eating the smaller ones are better.
Yeah.
But they get some numbers. But yeah, he says that people are coming from all over the country fishing. I never realized it was that good. It's been kind of kept quiet, but yeah, that's some good fishing. So yeah, but I appreciate that. I'm glad that stuff working. I'll get you some more stuff.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah, and real quick, I got the chance to stop out and see what Michael Durkulek over there in the Barbie Steelhead, Barbie Rod Steelhead thing yesterday, and I forget that it's so close to my lunch. I could run out of lunch. Work. What a great job they did, and man, I can't imagine fighting a 29-inch steelhead on a Barbie rod. That's exciting. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and thanks for all you do, and thanks for the double dose of Bob, by the way. That was awesome.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Thanks.
See ya.
We'll see you.
We'll see you.
Have a good one.
Okay. And in that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures. to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. So I got a note this week from Doug, and he said he saw an ad in the Port Clinton that Port Clinton Fisheries were advertising opening sale on fish. They had walleye, catfish, white perch, and buffalo fish they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
He says everybody talks about walleye and perch and how they taste. Can you discuss the taste of white perch and buffalo fish? I didn't even know about buffalo fish, and he grew up in Ohio. So talk about it. Oh, either one of you, whatever you know, whichever about those as far as the taste, and how would you prepare them? Poach them, boil them. What
They usually smoke buffalo.
Yeah.
do they?
Yeah.
They smoke them like they would carp.
White perch.
Why?
They taste similar to a white bass. They're a little bony and
And a little strong.
yeah.
But people are buying
more
them.
oily.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cheap.
Yeah. So it would.
Sorry.
But how else
less
could you do
expensive.
Less expensive.
Okay. So how would you do the buffalo fish if you weren't into smoking? If they're selling fresh fish, would you grind it up and make like a salmon patty?
You could. You could cook it and then grind it up and make a salmon patty, I
Yeah.
guess.
Can't you do that with almost any fish?
Yes. Sure.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I used to shoot carp with my bow and arrow, too, when I was in college. You know?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of quarries in Delaware. And I'd shoot these carp, and I'd just shoot them because
Yeah.
there were so many in there. Then I'd throw them up in the bushes for the raccoons to eat them, you know. Excuse me.
You okay?
Excuse me again. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of consumption, you know.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
we had a black cook in our fraternity, and she says, "You bring me those carp." And I said, "Okay." So I brought a bunch of big carp, and she made me a big fillet of carp,
Yeah.
baked it
Yeah.
for Sunday dinner. Everybody else had chicken.
Yeah.
I had this carp, and her name was Scotty. Mrs. Scott was her name. I'll tell you, that was some of the best fish I ever had in my life.
Really?
I don't know how she cooked it. I asked
And that's
her.
that's the trick is knowing
she
how
knew
to.
how to cook that
Yes.
fish, and it was absolutely delicious.
Wow.
It was like
Well,
it was.
it's
I don't know how she did it.
been a food fish forever.
Yeah, in
And it's
Europe
not
they eat
just-
them all.
Well,
It's
in
not
Europe,
just
it's a
the,
big. It's like bass tournaments. They
Yeah.
have these big tournaments, and you got to
In
release
China
them.
and Europe
Yeah.
and Japan, and they eat a lot of carp.
Yeah, that's why they
Different
brought
carp
them over here.
species. Yeah, they brought them
Okay.
here as a food source.
Yeah.
But
And
I've
And they're
tried
big.
to eat it, and
gefilte
I've never.
fish is generally carp,
Okay.
and it's basically canned carp. I know our compadre in the kitchen, Joe Keogh, cans carp
Yeah.
that he goes bow fishing for.
So you would can them
used
and then
to.
make the patties.
No, you can them and
You
put
can 'em
eat
and
them
eat
on
'em.
crackers. You
Yeah.
can eat them on.
Okay.
They'd be like
You
tuna,
can do
like
whatever.
canned
Oh,
tuna.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like tuna fish.
And
Okay.
they're good. I've had
So like a
Joe's.
salad, sort of. You do like tuna salad, or not?
You could.
You could.
Okay.
Or put them on.
Well, when
fry.
you said like
Yeah.
tuna fish.
yeah,
Just
kind of.
eat it straight out of the jar and put it on a
Right.
cracker with
Oh,
some
okay.
little bit of onion and
Yeah.
That's what
some
they make
capers
gefilte fish and
yeah.
everything out of carp.
Okay.
and it's good. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just that
And I would imagine
it's
buffalo
the same
fish
thing.
is-
It's
There are
what we've
different
been taught
cultures
to
in
eat.
different parts of the country. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. People
Right.
say, "Oh, I only eat walleye."
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't walleye fish, or they can't walleye fish, or they can't afford to buy it in the store. 'Cause
I
it's
know in
expensive.
Alaska, in the one lodge, the guy he treated the smaller, what fish would that have been? The cod, that garbage and that. I'm thinking, wow,
Yeah.
it's odd because they had halibut and ling cod, which are great.
Yeah.
But the small, those, they were like 4 or 5 pound cod. He just treated them like garbage. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. So
it all depends on where you're at and what you're used to. But
why
like
even
white
sheephead.
like white bass, we used to catch really nice white bass
Yeah,
in the
big
west
ones.
end of
Yeah.
Lake Erie.
Oh, it was a big
like
thing.
like regular 2-pound white
Yeah.
bass, and
Yeah.
they say 3-4 pounders.
Yeah.
Baloney.
Yeah.
They were nice 2-pounders,
And that's a good fish.
And I used to smoke them all the time, and they
Okay.
were like smoked. I would say like smoked mullet. They were really
when
good.
When you smoke it, how do you deal with the bones?
You leave them in there.
You eat them?
You don't eat them. You just pick the flesh off the bones.
Okay.
What I would do is I'd scale them,
Yeah.
put them in the brine solution.
Yeah.
You dry them. You dry them first. You don't, put them in wet in the smoker.
Okay.
You dry them first, just with a fan. You dry them out. Put them in a smoker.
Yeah.
And smoke them for how long? If you want to dry smoke them, or if you want to cook.
Can you
smoke
smoke them on a grill?
You
Can
could.
you use a grill
you
for a
could
smoke?
smoke them on a grill.
Okay. Okay.
That would be hot smoking, but you got to keep the fire really low on a grill.
How do you control it? Oh, a gas grill. Okay.
On a gas grill, you could
okay.
do it, or you could do it on a regular grill too, as long as you don't get the fire too hot.
Okay. Okay.
You could. That's more of a hassle, though.
Yeah.
But they're really good because it's an oily fish.
Yeah. Oh.
But they're delicious. They'd be like smoked mullet, which they have in Florida, which are really good smoked.
Yeah. Since you guys are up on this food thing, and I was thinking about something this week. Why is coffee such a staple? Is it in other countries? Coffee. Everybody got to have coffee in the morning. Why has it gotten such a?
It always has been.
But why? How did it start?
Well, there's this little guy in Turkey, and he says, "Man, this coffee is good."
Yeah, but I just wondered, how did it get to be that most people crave it in the morning? Not everybody.
Probably started in the Mideast, like most things start.
And then it just migrated
It migrated all over the place.
It's waking you up, I guess, is the myth.
It's got some caffeine in it.
Yeah, okay. But I wondered about that, because it's all you hear are commercials for coffee and stuff, and you just wondered, how did it become?
A lot of these foods actually started in the Mideast, in the Fertile Crescent.
And then they migrated here, and its family turned it, to the next,
And actually, a lot of food started in the Americas, too, when they came over here.
Yeah.
A lot of our potatoes and sweet potatoes and regular potatoes,
really?
Your
peppers
potatoes
and
are
corn.
originated in South America.
Yeah, with the Incas
Really?
and all those people.
I would have thought Irelanders.
No.
Really?
No.
Tobacco originated here. Corn originated
Did
here.
corn?
All our Native Americans.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Really?
The Italians didn't make the tomatoes. We took them over there, and they thought they were poison at first.
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes.
Wow. How would that? It had to be a native plant or something?
Yeah, it's native to the Americas.
Wow. See? This show is just full of information. Boy.
That's what we should call it.
Yes?
We should start a new segment called Things Joe Doesn't Know.
It would be so short.
No, it wouldn't. You could change the medical hour to the... Here we go with 60 minutes of things Joe doesn't know. Joe doesn't know that fish spawn at different times of the year.
No,
Dun, dun,
no, but it's
dun.
always in the spring.
Joe doesn't
But
know
it's one
where
right after
potatoes
another,
came
but it's
from.
still in the spring. And
He
I know
eats
it's in
them.
the spring.
You know
although,
what? Maybe you're
some
part Peruvian.
fish spawn late winter.
Huh?
Some fish spawn late winter.
And there are summertime spawners. And that's a steelhead that's in Lake Michigan. it spawns in like June or July. Because when we would go there, what's the name? It is another sub-breed.
Scamania?
Yeah, maybe it's the Scamani, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah. Because
they originated in Iran.
Are you serious?
You've heard of the Ayatollah Khomeini, haven't you?
God, I knew.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, see, yeah, you're an idiot. But but yeah, because there was a summer run, and they're a thinner fish and longer. It was a different looking.
They jump a lot,
and that was a bit. And they put those in, but yeah, they are. I mean, I know it's all spring, but I didn't realize it was pretty much staged. One right after another. So
some overlap.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, they'd almost have to. But it's. But I'm sure there's some other people listening to the show that are learning the same things I'm learning. So it's not.
It's all about education, educating people.
Yeah,
we're educating people.
Well, that's
There's no problem.
And some of it is just points of interest. Maybe some women aren't fishing and stuff, but
some men aren't fishing.
Some men aren't fishing.
Yeah.
What do you bringing women up?
Yeah.
Making fun of women, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Oh, my God.
All letters should be addressed to Joe.
Joe.
I hate women, Castaway Coolest.
Joe Castaway Coolest with a K.
Oh, God.
That's right.
I missed that.
The He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Oh, I don't hate. No, I'm amazed the patience they have, and the soft touch the doctors have, and the dentists. They're
Imagine if you had your Amish widow, the patience she would have with you.
I don't know.
Man, she would be a saint.
Oh, see, and maybe they can't find a saint.
We got to go down to Kidron,
Saint
okay,
Gretchen.
we got to take a break. 216-901-0945 is the number. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
WHK,